Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is a bit more insanity, a bit more craziness that's been going on with the foreign aid type deal because now it seems to have spread. It seems to have spread to another country, our friendly neighbors, as they so-called say, to the UK. And unfortunately, I don't think this is a great thing, right? I think the way the factor we have is there's so much cancer in society that or in our government, not society, but in our government that I just don't know what else to say about it. Right? This is all the insanity that's been going on. So again, what we have here: Donald Trump's foreign aid clampdown could force controversial LGBTQ plus charity Stonewall to cut half of its staff. And I would like to say, is that a problem? Is that an issue? Because last time I checked, there is nothing wrong with cutting half of its staff in Stonewall because, well, it's going to another country, right? British charity Stonewall could be forced to cut half of its staff after Donald Trump axed its foreign aid support, as been reported. The controversial LGBTQ plus lobbying group was told on Thursday that only roles with dedicated funding would remain following a restructuring of the charity. The news was broken to Stonewall's 114 shell-shocked staff by the organization's chief executive, Simon Blake, during the office-wide team's call to Post Times. Insiders told the newspaper that up to 50% of the charity staff were now in the firing line, with the move being blamed on Mr. Trump's decision to axe foreign aid. Well, good, because again, we shouldn't be funding this anyways. Now, a lot of you leftists, a lot of you liberals are probably going to go out and say, well, he's just doing it because of transgender stuff or whatever. Well, actually, no, because in reality, he's doing this because it's a foreign aid being paid for stuff, and we don't need to be paying for this. He's been doing this for all kinds of other things outside of the transgender era, right? So you can't be saying it's like, oh, it's just for the transgenders. It's like, no, it's also due to the fact that, that it's foreign aid, pointless foreign aid going for things that we don't need to be supporting, right? Like, if you want to support transgender rights and all that stuff in the UK, have at it. It's just, we won't be helping you funding that stuff. So, PSMA, because it is pointless. It's just pointless. American funding to Stonewall came through the Global Equity Fund, GEF, which focused on advancing LGBTI or the alphabet community rights around the world, and is administered by the U.S. State Department. Over the past 3 years, the U.S. has provided Stonewall with more than £500,000 of aid. However, Mr. Trump has sought to clamp down on the cash being supplied to trans rights groups as part of the U.S. president's crackdown against the ideological movement. Mr. Bragg previously warned Trump's decision would hit Stonewall's work in Eastern Europe and the Caucasus, or I think that's how you pronounce that. I apologize if I mispronounce that. I am a fool. It says, where it supports communities and law enforcement agencies to respond to anti-LGBTQ plus violence, often providing vital services to victims. Goes on here. It says, news of the reported cuts to Stonewall comes after it was revealed the group was becoming increasingly more reliant on taxpayers' money as its overall finances suffer, prompting calls for the public bodies to end their support for it. The group reported a deficit of more than £800,000 as its income fell while it was forced to use up half of its reserve, new accounts show. So, this is huge. So, having this, being cut here is going to massively hurt the trans community in the UK, which honestly I don't care for. And the reason why I don't care for this is because this ideology is being pushed so hard onto the normal populace that people got sick and tired of it. I'm pretty sure even the people in the UK are most likely sick and tired of this. But be as it may, if more than like 80% of our funds is funding this type of thing, then that means that, well, I guess that just means that they don't have funding, right? That they're just screwed because it's going to fall over because nobody actually wants this stuff. Because again, this is a 1% of the population type of deal, and these people just can't afford it. But it does say here, yet the amount the charity received in grants from public bodies increased taking the total to more than 600,000, despite many serving their links with these controversial diversity rating schemes. Because it goes to show that maybe that this was everything here that we see here is being funded by government agencies and nobody's actually funding itself, which means these people are being paid to do this, which is very, very likely possible. Women's rights campaigners said the turmoil at Stonewall showed it was wrong to have taken such a hard-line approach to trans rights, which included trying to get Britain's Equality and Human Rights Commission watchdog reprimanded for its support of single-sex spaces. John O'Connell, chief executive of the Taxpayers Alliance, said taxpayers will be shocked that the state is effectively paying to prop up a charity that has gone increasingly rogue in its agenda. Well, I don't know anything about the UK politics, right? So you may want to go to somebody else for that. Maybe the son of a cod or what have you. Like maybe those guys would be better, or the Lotus Eaters. They might be better for your UK politics than coming from a person that lives in America. All right, I only know a vague idea and kind of what's happening with those kids that are being exploited by these Muslim gangs or whatever, which is very, very disgusting. I know about that, but outside of UK politics, I don't know very much. So probably don't comment me on here. But he's saying that the taxpayers are shocked that they're finding out that the state is actually funding this. So that means that, the people are not even wanting this to be there, and well, they're doing it anyways. Which, again, as I said, take a grain of salt because I don't know UK politics. For years, Stonewall has been attempting to drag swaths of the public sector into uncharted waters, which most of the Britain public want to go nowhere near. Yet, it's been receiving taxpayers' money to further its demands. There needs to be far stricter rules about taxpayer funding of charities who also engage in political lobbying. I 100% agree. I think that should be happening across the board, not just in the UK, but I think it should be happening also in the US. For example, what's that horrible charity? PETA. Yeah, PETA should probably be, investigated because they do a lot more harm than actually prevent things. So they're probably one of the worst ones out there, and they come out to grandstand to other people, and that's just a terrible thing, right? So I think I agree that probably investigate charities that have political lobbying because again, they are probably not doing their best, I would say. We have this here from Stonewall's annual report for 2023-24 admits it has endured challenging operating conditions and incurred a deficit of £850,000, up from £574,000. Its income fell from £7.7 million the previous year to £6.9 million, while expenditure also dropped to £7.7 million from £8.3 million. Total reserves fell from £1.8 million to just £1 million. Well, it doesn't look like it's doing too well now, does it? Money from donations and wills fell from £1.81 million to £1.4 million, while fee income, including the diversity champion schemes, dropped from £2.9 million to £2.4 million. So they're just not doing well. They're overall losing money. The report says more than 200 schools and colleges were signing up to its programs, or Program A, for education, which tells teachers to stop calling people's boys and girls as part of efforts to make classroom genders neutral, which is going to have a negative backfire. I don't know why people are doing that, but this is the insanity that the left are pushing. But the previous year's report put the figure at over 300. Yet it also revealed that the total income from government sources stood at £718,000, up from £572,000 the previous year. Grants included £151,000, etc., all decreasing. So I'm not gonna kind of just we're referring stupid stuff here. This goes on when Stonewall was founded, which we don't actually care here. So again, this is all insanity, right? This is all insanity, and what I'm getting at here is that that Trump is removing foreign aid entirely. He is not supporting any of this stuff. I 100% agree with this. Is that we shouldn't be funding these type of things in general. I'm very, very hesitant on foreign aid. And the reason why I'm hesitant on foreign aid is because it has to be for the right reasons. And even then, I'm not really prone to it at all. Like, even if we wanted to give money to foreigners or foreign countries for like stopping measles. Why should I care about stopping measles in a foreign country? It has nothing to do with us. They should deal with that themselves. Maybe like stuff like that. Now, if it's like natural disasters or things like that and it hits them hard and they're an ally or whatever, then I'm more inclined to help, because natural disasters is not of anybody's fault, even when it comes down to the government. So that being said, yeah, we can help out in natural disasters. I'm fine with that. I don't have an issue. Now, when it comes down to other things that has to do with their government or what have you, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I think we should just let the governments deal with themselves, let the people decide, and, maybe not go and engage with, other governments' politics or influencing our politics or our own Western ideas onto other people, because that's insanity to me. It's like I said this before, it's like when I go to Japan, I want to go to Japan and experience their culture. I don't want to go to Japan and experience my Western culture that I'm from. What's the point of going to Japan if I want to experience Western culture? That's insanity. I want to go to Japan because I want to experience their culture. I want to try out their stuff, try out their spas. I am a pretty huge advocate of massages, so be as it may, call me a psychopath, call me weird, but massages are great. You guys should probably do it. But again, these are things that we should be that we should be doing, right? Where we're not putting money to influence other countries to do certain things that fits our political, specifically our Western values, right, or our culture. But if it's to protect America or what have you, yes, we should do that. So again, this is insanity here. We have another look at what we've been doing for supporting these countries or whatever with foreign aid, and I'm glad that Donald Trump is stopping this and we're moving on to a better path of justice here. All right, guys, so that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. If you guys like what you see, please continue to keep on watching. Take care, guys.
Burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your